My mum always used to say to me, the truth will out. So, you know, when you were at school and you'd be having sort of your friendship issues, you go, but it wasn't me, mum, she did this and he said that and they spoke to them and I didn't do it. My mum would always listen and go, oh, okay. Yeah, no, that sounds really awful. No, I can understand that. Well, don't worry, because you've told me your side and the truth will always out. And off she'd go downstairs doing, you know, something or other mummy like. And I'd be upstairs thinking, and then I'd go, okay, I can't do it. Mum, no, that's not what happened. And the truth came out. So yesterday, when I did my video about Bridget Phillipson and Keir Starmer, turns out, now that there's over 16,000 people on this channel, I love you all, and I love my little super sleuths. I mean, I'm feeling a bit like the Thursday Murder Club, because quite a few people know Jonathan Brash. That one was a good one. Lots of people have a story to tell about Bridget Phillipson, like loads. And somebody sent a very, very interesting note about what it was like to live with a narcissist, Keir Starmer. Now, these are what people are observing, what people's lived experience is, and what people are telling me. And it feels like the truth is out. So in terms of Bridget, there's a lot of conversation about Hetonley Hole, where she lived, people's thoughts on her mum, people's thoughts on her charity. There's a lot of chat about a missing £728,000 from the charity, or something in that region. I mean, when you're talking about £700,000, you can forgive or take like £1 here and there. There's lots of chat about that. Excuse me, I'm making a sandwich for college. It's the busy day today. Last night's salad and mayo. Then there's Jonathan Brash. So he taught at Yarm Independent School, and a few people say he went to Yarm Independent School. So if anybody was in Jonathan Brash's class, give us a shout. And you know, people have always got something to say. And I've always said you can't put yourself on these platforms unless you're prepared. I mean, the first thing that people say to me, which makes me laugh because it was about 50 billion years ago, oh, you went out with Chris Moyles. Yes, I did. No, I don't know him anymore. Haven't seen him in years. Was a nice bloke. Have no stories. It's not that interesting. I'm really sorry. But somebody will always say something. And you've got to be prepared for it. And a lot of the time, it's not true. A lot of the time, it's what people want to believe. But then when you get yourself in situations where lots of different people keep saying the same thing, you start thinking, my mum was right. The truth will out. So a lot of people are saying about Keir Starmer's personality traits, there's a lot of links to narcissism, there's a lot of links to sociopath. I'm not sold on that, but I do think we've got a big element, a big dollop of neurodiversity in there. There is a complete disconnect with empathy. There is a complete disconnect with compassion. There is very much something going on there, which I believe is past trauma related. And if you look about Keir, you can see that his mum was very poorly when he was growing up, and his father was so focused on looking after his mum that I don't think there was a lot of time for Keir. And you can see where this comes from. And you can see how unresolved trauma can, later down the line, play out. Now, the issue for that is for us, it's playing out on us. With Bridget Phillipson, there's a lot of unresolved trauma there. She has absolutely blanket banned anything coming out about her childhood. There's so much speculation about her father, it's off the charts. And I can understand, you know, she'll be thinking, well, what's that got to do with you? Why has any of my past got anything to do with you? And if she wasn't the Education Secretary or the Secretary for State and a prominent MP, she'd have an actual point. What does it have got to do with any of us? Nothing. But she is. And when you try and hide something, when you sort of push it away in the shadows, it has a tendency to come out. And it is coming out. And it's, you know, people are messaging me and I love it. And I'm simply telling you what I've heard before the thought police come and lock me up and say that I'm spreading salacious rumours. I'm absolutely not. You can read them yourself. They're all on these comment sections. You dive in, have fun. And as I've said, some of them won't be true. Some of them will be hearsay. A lot of them will be hearsay. And, you know, again, my mum used to say, I'll take it with a pinch of salt. And today's news is tomorrow's chip paper. Do we do that anymore? It's all that white stuff now, isn't it? Why don't we go back to chip paper? Anyway, I digress. So there's a lot rumbling on out there, and it's coming further and further and further to the surface. And at some point, I mean, you have to ask yourself with the Bridget Phillipson stuff, did Keir Starmer know? Did he know that there was this missing 750 grand that nobody seems to have owned? Yeah, it's out there in the ether. There's a a lot of connections there with Vera Baird. There's a lot of connection with the police commissioner, with meetings, local town hall meetings where Bridget had some protection. You know, is it all hearsay? But if that was swirling around about me all the time, I think I'd be addressing it head on. You know, like I've just addressed the Chris Moyle thing. Yes, I did go out with him. I can't tell you anything about him. I was like 20... how old was I? 23? 22. I was on Children's BBC. We were in the thick of that. It was lovely while it lasted. He was a good friend, and I literally have nothing to say about the man. It's not that interesting, or as my kids would say, it's not that deep. Any other questions? Ask, fire away. Happy to answer them. There really is nothing murky in the cupboard. I'm really trying to think. No, sorry, I am so bland. But perhaps that's the best way to be. But in our politicians, there's always something waiting to come out the door. And of course, it's not just Keir and Bridget and Jonathan and Stephen Morgan and all of them. God, no. I mean, every politician in every government ever that was. It's always the way. And you'd think they'd cotton on, wouldn't you? You'd think they'd go, oh, I'm about to go into public office and the papers are going to literally want to pull me apart. So maybe I just won't. I'll save myself. I'll just fast forward to the bit where I'm retiring and I'll cut the middle bit out, you know, that whole career bit. I'll go and do something else because politics is clearly not going to work for me. There's always going to be something. There's always a slur. I mean, it's just, it's how the world works. But off the back of yesterday's videos, I'm loving my team of super sleuths. You're ace. You're amazing. And you were on my wavelength. And I'm really sorry it took me 4 minutes to tell you that I think Keir Starmer is like Rob Titchener. I was processing it, so I am neurodivergent. And I don't, sometimes it's a word salad as I'm getting the words out. But at least I own it. At least I say, yeah, no, that's my bad. So I'm sorry. It did take me 4.5 minutes to say that Keir Starmer is like Rob Titchener or Penfold. And once you've seen that one, you really can't unsee it. And Bridget Phillipson is like the witch in the Snow White, mirror, mirror on the wall. It's not you, love. I'm so sorry. Right, I've made my sandwich. I need to put it in cling film. I need to get the children. I need to make our 60p breakfast. Don't forget the breakfast smoothies. You can get all the frozen fruit from Morrison's, Aldi, Lidl, any of the supermarkets. They've all got it. Obviously, they will vary in price. Chuck it in a blender. Put a bit of milk in it. Protein powder if you've got a working out one, like I do. Bob's your uncle, or as my granny used to say, Bob's your uncle, Bob's your auntie's live-in lover. There you go. Thanks, Nana.